I'm here at the overseas call centre of a large insurance company. With me is customer service team leader Mr. Volty. Mr. Volty, how easy is it to provide great insurance service to your customers?
Well, we're on another continent. You can never get through. We've no idea who you are, and we're only allowed to work from a script with the information on the screen in front of us. Frankly, you'd be better with High House.
High House Insurance, your local experts. High House Insurance don't pay to be on comparison websites, so your premiums are better value. For a free, no-obligation quote, call Selsey 606 552. High House, local, reliable insurance. High Street, Selsey.
Hi, and this is Keith Barnes welcoming you once again to Selsey Internet Radio Podcast. In this week's show, we have Jean Pratt, who will be telling us what's going on in and around the village for the coming week. We'll have Pat Reed, our Selsey Shopper, who will be telling us what's available in Selsey and where we can find it. I will be talking to Roger Barrow about Selsey Business Partnership, and of course there'll be the usual item from Keithy's Kitchen. Before we go over to Jean this week, I would just like to apologise for the sound quality. It's not Jean's fault. She was given a new piece of equipment to work away from the studio because she was unable to get to the studio this week, and unfortunately we didn't tell her that you couldn't use it in the bath. No, I jest. But she wasn't really en favour with it, and it's probably our fault, and we promise to get that right by next week. So if you could just bear with us on this occasion for the poor sound quality in this recording, but nonetheless the information is as good as always. Jean.
Hello. Monday the 9th of March. The social club run by the Platinum Home Care team are at the Selsey Centre from 2 to 4:30, staffed by qualified care assistants to help those who might need it. You will be able to enjoy bingo, puzzles or craft activities, coffee, tea and cake or biscuit provided. For more information, telephone 605 675. Also on Monday the 9th of March, Selsey Film Club have another good film on this evening for you to enjoy. It's called My Old Lady. The cast includes Maggie Smith, Kevin Kline and Chris Scott Thomas. The film is about a down-and-out New Yorker who inherits an apartment from his estranged father and is stunned to find a refined old lady and her protective daughter living there. Now you need to go along to find out what happened next. And it's at the Town Hall at 7:30. Tickets are £5 and can be bought at the door or earlier from the Town Hall. On Tuesday the 10th of March, the VIPs, that is the Selsey Visually Impaired Club, meet at Hanover Close Lounge, 2 till 4 p.m. Transport is door to door. For all meetings and outings with the help of Selsey Venture Bus, you will need to phone 605 115. If you know someone who has problems with this site, could you please tell them about the club? Further details from Judy Smith, 606 995, or Jill Erickson, 601 628. Tuesday the 10th of March again, Fibromyalgia Support Group invites you to join them at 12 noon at the Fisherman's Joy. Lots of laughs and social events. You can meet others who live with FMS. Call Teresa 0844 887 2582. And also on Tuesday the 10th, the RNA, Royal Naval Association, meet at the Selsey Club, Cox's Road at 8 o'clock. All serving and ex-Navy personnel are very welcome. All inquiries, Gavin Roriston, 607 485. Wednesday the 11th of March, Carpet Bowls meet at Medmary School, School Lane. Wednesday and Thursday evening at 7, or Sundays 9:30 and 3 p.m. Non-members welcome. For more information, call Sylvia Cox 681 663 or Annette Isket 606 227. Wednesday the 11th of March, Selsey WI will be meeting 2:15 in Selsey Town Hall. Their speaker is Jill Parker, who will talk about the Leonard Cheshire and his charity. For more information, ring 603 221 or 077 601 26613. On Wednesday 11th of March, the full council and planning meeting in the Town Hall starts at 7:30. And on Thursday the 12th of March, Selsey Historical Society have Martin Hayes speaking about Selsey and the old photographs they have. The meeting starts at 7:30 in St Peter's Church Hall. All friends and visitors are welcome. There is a modest charge of £1.50 and that will include refreshments. For more information, call John Mason, 607 037. Also Thursday the 12th of March there is a whist drive at Selsey Club, Cox's Road, starting at 7:30. And Thursday the 12th of March, if you enjoy doing jigsaw puzzles but do not want to have to buy one, then the Jigsaw Puzzle Club may be for you. Membership fee is £3. Puzzles can be borrowed for £1 a month each. They have over 300 to choose from. Go along to 14 Green Lane any time between 10 to 4 on Thursday. All proceeds from this go to the Sussex Snowdrop Trust. For more information about the club, contact Sandy Lewis, 605 942. Friday the 13th of March, the Derby and Joan Club meet at St Peter's Church Hall, 2 till 4. Why not go along and have a cup of tea and a game of bingo? For more information, call Jill Evenden, 604 187. Friday 13th of March, Selsey Horticultural Society meet at the Selsey Centre at 7:30. And tonight their speaker will be Paul Templeton, who's going to talk about fruit trees and bushes for the small garden. Annual membership is £7. Visitors are welcome at their meeting, for which there will be a charge of just £1. And the venture bus is available, and you would need to phone 605 115. And for more information, call Linda Brown, 601 483. On Sunday, March the 14th, tabletop sale at Selsey Methodist Church from 10 till 1. On Saturday the 14th of March, a production of Art Stream Selsey and City Walls of live opera called Dido and Aeneas by Henry Purcell. It's about the love of Dido, Queen of Carthage, for the Trojan hero Aeneas and her despair when he abandons her. It's at the Academy in School Lane, starting at 7:30 p.m, but the doors will be open at 7 p.m. Tickets are £8.50 and £8 only for those with concessions. Tickets can be purchased from High House Insurance, High Street, Selsey. If you have not seen an opera before, this will be your chance to experience that something different and exciting. On Saturday the 14th of March, the Venture Club, adjacent to the Co-op, have a garage sale from 9 till 12, and the Selsey Scouts charity shop in School Lane will also be open from 10 till 12. That's all for this week. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that as always, Jean. Very difficult circumstances, we understand, and I'm sure the listeners will forgive us, and we'll hear you loud and clear next week. We go across now to the lovely Pat Reed, our Selsey shopper, who's going to be telling us what we can get and where we can get it from. Pat.
Hi. Each month I endeavour to give you some helpful hints and information on what's going on in our high street and surrounding area. I noticed when driving past Treasure Chest on the corner of East Street and Grafton Road that they had a closing down sale notice in the window, so I decided to start there and also have a look at a couple of other businesses in East Street. However, I was told by the owner of the Treasure Chest that the sale is about to end, so there may be only a few days left. Everything must go and they are inviting offers, so it's worth having a look. I'm told that after 30 years of trading, there'll no longer be a shop there and the property will now just be residential. Next door is the Selsey Appliance Centre run by Malcolm Wheatley and better known by long-term residents as Fordham Electrical, which also has been established for over 30 years. I was surprised at the amount of stock inside the shop. Malcolm sells new and reconditioned domestic appliances which include washing machines, dryers, cookers, microwaves, in fact any electrical appliance you would find in a kitchen, and also vacuum cleaners. He also stocks spares and runs a repair service and a carpet cleaning service as well. Malcolm tells me that he will deliver and dispose of any unwanted appliances free of charge. I think it's well worth having a look in this shop, where you'll get a personal service locally if you're planning on purchasing a domestic appliance or just need a repair to an existing one. His phone number is 602392. I then walked across the road and called into Star Advertising Products, which is on the corner of North Road. I wasn't sure exactly what they produced, so I was pleased to be able to speak to the managing director, Richard Lambdin. The company has been established since 1960, and the reason I probably haven't called in on them before is because they do most of their trading outside Selsey and are not really a high street shop where you can buy one-offs of their products. However, I'm sure that many people in Selsey who run businesses or belong to clubs, societies, schools, churches and similar organisations would find their products of interest if they haven't already discovered Star Advertising. They supply and print or embroider logos on all sorts of clothing and many other items for clubs and organisations in whatever quantity is needed. They have a large catalogue of business gifts and promotional items which is stacked with hundreds of products which include everything for the office, glassware, drinkware, all kinds of bags, umbrellas and parasols, clothing, chocolates, bottles of Carver, even a gazebo and much more, much more, too numerous to mention here, which can be customised with your company or club logo on it. The more you purchase, the cheaper each individual item is. Richard tells me that numbers can start at 10 for the more expensive items, but a small, inexpensive item would need to be bought in larger numbers. If you are interested in Star Advertising Products, then call in for their catalogue or give Richard a ring on 607 119, or you may know someone who is looking for this sort of service. I see that Flawless Finish, which is in the High Street, presently has a sale on of ex-showroom pieces, so I popped in to have a look at what was on offer. The sale includes their beds, which are currently on show. Bed linen, lamps, rugs, and at the time I called in they had some very attractive and comfortable bedroom-type chairs which were half price, so worth having a look now if you're thinking of buying any of these items. Also in the High Street is Selsey Fruiterers, opposite True Vision, who besides their usual stock of fruit and vegetables, now have a large stock of shrubs and herbaceous plants. At the moment in front of their shop is a colourful array of primroses, camellias and other spring flowers. What may not be immediately obvious is their small garden centre around the back, which is reached by a narrow alleyway at the side of the shop. This has an even larger stock of shrubs and potted plants, as well as compost, canes and attractive garden pots. With spring in the air, if still a little chilly at present, now is the time to start thinking of tidying up the garden and looking for suitable shrubs, and you should find plenty to choose from there. This week I stopped for a cup of tea at Twopenny Rice, the lovely old-fashioned tea room opposite Lloyd's Bank, as I particularly wanted to ask Lynn, who runs it, about her Wednesday afternoon Fat Cows Club, which I'd heard about from friends, so was interested to find out more. They meet on Wednesday afternoons at Twopenny Rice at 3 o'clock, when you are weighed, given a free cup of tea and a pep talk about which diet would be best for you, and then sent on your way, but not before everyone tucking into one of Lynn's delicious cakes. This sounds like the sort of diet pep talk I'd like, but I was assured by a lady and gentleman who were there having a cup of tea at the time I called in that they had lost quite a few pounds since joining the club. So I persuaded my husband to come along with yesterday's meeting, a task made easier by the mention of cake. There is a charge of £1.50 which goes to a good cause, the Selsey Business Partnership, which will help towards Selsey events. we arrived to find a group of ladies and a couple of gents thoroughly enjoying themselves over a cup of tea. All had been weighed, and I was told that the twopenny rice diet was working. So anyone who would like to join them, if only for tea and a chat, pop along there on a Wednesday afternoon at 3. Well, that's all for this month, so tune in next month when I hope to have more news about what's going on in Selsey.
Well, thank you for that, Pat. It doesn't seem a month ago since you were last in the studio, but there you go. I'm sure it must have been. I don't imagine you rush back any more often than is necessary. Earlier this week I spoke to Roger Barrow from Selsey Business Partnership, and Roger gave me an insight into what happens, what Selsey Business Partnership is about, and also let me into who won what at the gala dinner and Selsey Business Partnership Awards that took place just last weekend. Roger.
Hello, Keith. Well, good to see you again.
And you indeed, yes, sir. Now, I'd just like to talk to you a bit about Selsey Business Partnership, Roger. I don't know too much about it, I have to say. I'm not a businessman. But I believe a big percentage of the businesses in Selsey are part of it.
On our website, you'll probably find well over 200 local businesses now listed.
Really?
And,
most people wouldn't even think there were 200 businesses in Selsey.
Yeah.
It just shows you, I mean, people think of businesses perhaps as a high street and that's it. But of course, Selsey Business Partnership, I think, takes in all manner of businesses.
yeah, we're keen to get anybody who has any sort of business involved. You know, as you say, we've got plumbers, we've got carpenters, we've got sole traders, we've got shops, we've got big businesses like Ocean Air and Nature's Way as well. So the whole spectrum. A lot of the high street shops as well, but not all of them. But a lot of the high street shops are part of the business partnership. Our sole aim, and we're just a voluntary group of local business people. Our sole aim is to give whatever support the local businesses need to work together and to network with each other and to get more customers to promote their businesses. And we like to try and help with that because we think a strong business environment helps Selsey, and that helps Selsey customers.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The stronger the business environment in Selsey, the better it is for everybody, surely. I would have thought. Well, as I say, I'm not a businessman. Now, I believe last weekend you held your gala dinner.
Yeah, it's been a very busy time. This is the third year now that we've held the Selsey Business Awards. We start receiving votes and nominations back in November, and between November and January people could vote online for their favourite business. They could vote by paper, by writing in with their favourite business, and we had over 600 local customers vote or nominate their favourite business for 60 local businesses.
Now that's no mean feat to get 600 people to vote, because some of the politicians, not only locally but nationally as well, would be happy to get 600 people out of a place this size out to vote.
Well, it shows how important the businesses are to local people, because that is more than the Observer get from their Observer Awards. So it's big now, and it's also very competitive. The local businesses, a lot of them who get involved, work hard to use the opportunity of the awards to market their businesses and tell customers and write to them. And the most successful businesses were the ones that took the opportunity and got hold of the awards and used it as an opportunity to tell their customers. And some businesses just got so many votes with some really glowing reports. It made it a very difficult job for the judges to make a final decision.
Who actually sits on a panel of judges? I take it is a panel of judges.
Yeah, it's a panel of independent judges. We take 3 people from the town council, we take 1 person from the district council. I chair the meeting of the judges. I don't have a vote. I simply chair it to make sure there's no arguments. I'll only have a casting vote if they don't agree, but in the event I didn't need to use that. And they chose the winners and the runners-up from the huge list of votes and comments that we had. I'm not going to divulge their names because they've asked me not to in case they get beaten up.
Just to pick up on your mention of the district council there, a little bird tells me that you're standing for
district council elections.
Oh yes.
Is there any truth in this?
I thought the Selsey Internet Radio was non-political, so I won't.
Well, it is non-political.
I won't make any political comments. But yes, I've decided this year to stand as a district councillor in the election, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm absolutely passionate about the need for our local businesses to be strong and vibrant, and I think that is important not just for our local businesses but for our local community. So my hope is that if I am a district councillor, if I am successful, I will be giving as much support as I can to ensuring the district council meet the needs of our local business and our local high street. So that's enough politics, but that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely, yeah. You may well be sitting on both actually.
Yeah.
But now back to the gala awards, as it were. Who actually won the overall?
Well, we had a grand gala dinner. I mean, it's a great event. It's probably the premier business event in Selsey of the year. Nearly 150 people, all in their bow ties and glamorous dresses. And we presented all the awards. The awards up to that point had been absolutely secret. I don't think it had leaked out. And the overall winner for the very best business of all was the Selsey Florist.
Ah, what?
Yeah, so that was very good. The judges were particularly impressed with them, not just because they're actually a great little business and the reports from their customers were simply glowing, but also one of their employees won Young Employee of the Year, Keithy. They've also shown how a business can actually work together with other businesses. They've done a lot of work with different businesses to merge what they do together, and that really impressed the judges too. So yeah, they were worthy winners.
I have to say, I think the Young Employee Award is a very, very good idea, because so often nowadays, youngsters work in businesses, shop girls as they think of themselves. It's great to see some youngsters' efforts actually recognised and rewarded.
Well, it was a very important award. It was sponsored by Nature's Way, who are particularly passionate about youngsters. There were two people who outshone everybody in that award, and again, the comments all came from customers. So there was Katie Adams of the Selsey Florist, who just won by a whisker, and Jade Tompkins from the Selsey Community Nursery.
Oh, right.
She was the runner-up, and those two outstripped all the others. So yeah, it was great to give an award to a youngster.
And I believe the Selsey Community Nursery also won voluntary group of the
They did, yeah. I think they've done a remarkable job to get that nursery set up. It was something that was badly needed in Selsey, and I think they've done an absolutely remarkable job. And judges were particularly impressed with them.
Good. Now there was a special award that went to Brian Hall, I believe. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, Brian's a remarkable man. In fact, I suppose it's more than just a special award, it's probably a lifetime achievement award. That man has spent the last 30 years supporting almost every local cause there is, supporting business. He's been chairman of the Royal Naval Association for over 25 years. He's been treasurer on Sports Stream and others. He was our treasurer for a while. And almost all his spare time over the years has been put to helping local business and local good causes. Remarkable man. Now in his advanced years, he's still not retired. He keeps threatening to. And of course everyone probably knows him as the man who walks in front of the hearse because he works for Hollands. So he's going to see us all off, I think.
Yeah, do you think may have been edging his bets for a discount by taking that job late in life?
Yeah. One thing you might be interested in, or your listeners might be interested in, is the planned Selsey Smugglers Day.
Oh yes, we gave it a mention last week.
Last year we helped organise the big D-Day celebration, which absolutely filled the high street.
Incredible day out there.
Yeah. So we had in mind trying to do something similar, calling it the Smugglers Day. Sadly, we've hit a major snag, and we've only learned today that we're not able to get the road closure that we need.
Oh, that's a shame.
So we've had to abandon that. Well, not totally abandon it, because the other bit of breaking news is that the Carnival Committee, the Selsey Carnival, which takes place in August, the Carnival Committee have been struggling to find support lately. So they have now merged with us. So they are now part of the Selsey Business Partnership.
Okay.
So we now have a big plan for August the 30th to organise not just the Carnival with the members of the original Carnival Committee, but also to arrange an all-day event for the town, the Selsey Smugglers Day. So it'll be one big all-day event which we think will raise the roof of Selsey.
So that will be in August now as opposed to being in May for the Smugglers' Day.
Yeah, August the 30th. So instead of just a procession, which is what it was last year, this time we'll have something going on all day long, culminating in this big procession. And it'll go on into the evening, and we'll have late night shopping as well, and we'll have that high street buzzing, I'm sure.
Mm. Well, let's hope so. As I say, last year's event was tremendous and a wonderful atmosphere.
It was.
Whether it was of any real benefit to the businesses, I'm not sure. But certainly one or two of the pubs did well. That I do know.
I don't think the day itself probably brought particular benefit, but what it did do was put Selsey on the map.
Mm.
It wasn't just Selsey residents that came; it was people from around
absolutely, yeah.
who came, and they could see what we had to offer in Selsey.
Mm.
And that is where promotion is important, to get people recognising Selsey as a place to visit. The Selsey businesses as being vibrant businesses. So I think that day did an awful lot of long-term good for Selsey, not just the day itself.
Yes, I think it did as well. And on that note, I think we'll all look forward to August. I know I shall, because August in Selsey is a fantastic month anyway, with everything that's going on. And to have the somewhat fading Selsey Carnival, which is a shame, but it has been fading a bit over the past few years, 3 or 4 years, to give that a lift and to make it a whole day, including the carnival, of celebration of Selsey, if you like. I think it would be a fantastic idea, and I personally look forward to it. I'm sure.
Well, it should be a big day. We're looking forward to it. There's a lot of work involved, and we are on the lookout. If you can tell your listeners, we are on the lookout for volunteers to come and help us. Whether it's being marshals to help with the road closure, and it's a rolling road closure, whether it's to help just man different stalls around the place. We were looking for stall holders. We're looking particularly for people to take part and put in a float for the schools and groups, put in a float to the carnival. Let's make it a big event this year.
Well, I hope everybody listening is going to make the effort for that and make the effort for Selsey. As I say, August is a wonderful month in Selsey, and if we can make the carnival and the Smugglers' Day, and then I didn't know there were that many smugglers in Selsey, but I knew there were a few bandits, but I didn't know about the smugglers. But anyway, Roger, thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome.
And yes.
And the summer's about to come, and I wish all of your listeners and all the local businesses a successful summer season.
Thank you very much.
It's that time once again for Keithy's Kitchen. And our recipe for today from Keithy's Kitchen is roast quail with parsnip puree, soured cabbage and glazed carrots. Now all these items are available from Lidl's as well as other places, and what we need is, and this serves 4, we need, and allow 1 per person, deluxe quails, defrosted, olive oil, 1 clove of garlic, 3 thyme sprigs, 5 large parsnips, full fat milk, double cream, salt and black pepper, 1 block of unsalted butter, 1 head of cabbage, 2 onions, 100 grams of white balsamic vinegar, 100 grams of white wine, bacon lardons, 1 bunch of fresh parsley, 2 carrots, 20 grams of sugar, and 1 pack of deluxe port sauce. Now, if you're thinking this sounds decadent, you're absolutely right. And this is what we do with it. We remove the legs from the quails and reserve them. We put them to one side. Remove the neck and anything else from the cavity, and using a heavy knife split the crowns into 2 pieces between the breast fillets. This will give you 8 supremes. Well, supremes are quail, pretty small, but anyway. Put the legs in a pan and cover with olive oil and add the garlic and thyme. and cook over a low heat for 2 to 3 hours or until the meat falls from the bone. Strip all the meat from the bone and reserve. Save some of the oil to cook the quail in later. To make the puree, peel the parsnips and cut into small chunks, put into a pan and cover with half a milk and half a cream until just covered, and bring to a slow simmer and then cover with baking parchment and allow to cook for at least 45 minutes or until very soft. Now drain the parsnips, saving the milk and cream. Place the parsnip flesh into a blender and blend for at least 5 minutes until very smooth. Add more milk if the puree is too thick, then season to taste with salt and cook and cool quickly by spreading over a tray and putting in the fridge, stirring every few minutes. This stops the puree separating and forming a skin and ensures it will be nice and smooth. Another way to do this is to place it into a bowl over another bowl of ice water and keep stirring until cold. Peel and slice the onion very thinly and cook in a saucepan with 20 grams of butter until soft but without the colour, and add the wine, turn up the heat and cook until almost gone, then add the vinegar and cook for a couple of minutes. Remove the heat and allow to cool. Peel the carrots and cut in half and put into a pan cover with water. Add the sugar and butter to the water and bring to a simmer. Now cook the carrots until they're soft and have a nice glaze to them. If you want more glaze, reduce the cooking water down until syrupy and brush over the carrots. Now wash and shred the cabbage and fry the lardons until crispy. To finish and assemble the dish, pan fry the quail, skin side down in reserved olive oil until golden. Flip over and add 50 grams of butter to the pan and reduce the heat. The butter will begin to foam. When it does, spoon this over the side of the quails for a couple of minutes, then remove the quail from the pan and allow to rest in a warm place for at least 5 minutes. And most important that. Now, cook the cabbage in a little water, add a knob of butter until it softens, and then add the soured onions, the lardons, the leg meat and parsley and stir in. Season and then drain. Then place the cabbage on kitchen paper, slice the carrots into thin strips and pan fry in the same pan as the quail and allow them to take on the same colour. Now warm the pork sauce. Heat the puree until piping hot, then spoon across the serving plate and arrange the cabbage in the middle. Season the quail with salt and black pepper and place on top of the cabbage and arrange the carrots around. Now drizzle over some of the sauce and serve. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous dish. So go ahead and spoil yourself for that, and I'll see you next week. And that's about it for this week. I would just like to say before we go that the cabaret night that was held at the Town Hall on Saturday, and which you've heard much talk of, raised the fabulous sum of £1,111, which is going to be distributed amongst 3 charities. That's St Wilfrid's, the First Responders and Macmillan Cancer Support. And I would just like to say a great big thank you to everybody that was involved in that, and it just shows you what we can do when we try. Well, thank you very much, and goodbye for now. Bye bye now.